Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with yet another AITA story for you. This one goes like this. Am I the astronaut for losing my shit over cookies when my daughter-in-law tossed them out? She tossed your cookies. That's no. I am a good baker. I enjoy making sweet treats for everyone to enjoy. My daughter-in-law, Emily, is very health conscious, and even more so now that they have 2 kids. She's the type of person who avoids sugars, mostly eats organic, and avoids processed foods. When the grandkids visit, I usually make cookies or something sweet for them to enjoy. Every single time she sees them, she usually goes on about how they are unhealthy. We got into an argument about this a few months ago about not giving the kids junk. I pointed out everything is homemade, and I am not only serving them cookies. My son stepped in on this, and we compromised that the kids can have 1 cookie when they are here. Side note, this line is very important. This was good for a while until yesterday. The kids came over last night and I made a batch of cookies. They were cooling on the rack. Emily and my son decided to chat for a bit before heading out. During that time, Emily went into the kitchen and threw away the cookies. In some countries, that's a declaration of war. When I asked her why she did it, she claimed that she was doing me a favor since they are unhealthy. I yelled at her, saying that she had no right to throw away food that I had worked hard to make. She got defensive and said that she was just trying to help. My son stepped in and told me to calm down, but I was furious. Emily left the room in tears, and now my son is saying that I overreacted and should apologize. Okay, hold on. I told my son that I will not be babysitting until he handles this situation, and I will not apologize. Top comment: when you're a guest in someone else's home, even in your parents' home, there's no reason to throw away fresh food. The reality that these were freshly made that day, the level of rude entitlement that daughter-in-law showed against her mother-in-law while claiming, I'm doing you a favor, I'd have literally thrown her out of my house. She would not be allowed back into my home until she apologizes for her actions. The call made to end babysitting duties until she apologized was genius. Agreed, create some pain here, but, Sonny Boy here, OP's son, the cookie-tossing biznatch's hubby, is a brozo. How blatantly blind is your loyalty here, son? Because your wife sneakily walked into the kitchen, got the cookies, and threw them away. She hid it. She deceived. If someone is deceiving someone, they know what they're doing is wrong. She knew she was wrong. That's why she was trying to hide it, you dipshit. But you somehow justify this in your mind and tell your mom to calm down when your wife has very clearly overstepped the boundaries. She has crossed the line. She done broke the cookie line. Look, if I was writing a story where I had a sweet old grandma who made homemade cookies all the time, the one thing to get to her and to start an actual war with her would be to throw away the fucking cookies that she had just made while they were on the cooling rack. I feel like that's when Granny turns Rambo mode. I feel like that's where Granny gains like some kind of superpower and just whoops your ass. Because that is inexcusable. But hubby, dude, she hid it. She was sneaking, she was deceiving, she knew it was wrong, and somehow played you like a fiddle, boy. Played you like a fiddle. Immediately victimized herself and got you to stand up for her in your mom's home. Who was doing you a favor by babysitting, by the way? This being a babysitting thing and not grandma like, oh, I see them like once a month, and when I have them, I shove them full of cookies. They compromised. They made a compromise. They made an olive branch agreement. They compromised to 1 cookie per visit. This was an agreement. And her response to this agreement was to smile and say, yes, that sounds good, then turn around and go throw the cookies away because she does not respect you at all. People who don't respect you aren't privy to the proximity that it takes to do harm to you. Bish, please. I'd be like, hey, the kids are allowed back here. She is never allowed in my home again until she proves herself worthy. The work has to be on her. Has to be. So am I the astronaut for losing my shit over cookies when my daughter-in-law tossed them out? Hell no. No, you are not. No, you are not. Unfortunately, your son has pledged his allegiance to a bizzo. And this is problematic because it's going to complicate your ability to have a fruitful relationship with your grandchildren now. Unless there's a way that you can get him to see the light or form some kind of routine where you're able to spend time with the kids that does not involve her. And even then, know that she's going to be talking shit on you every time you're not around because that's who she is. She's deceitful, knowingly. Boo. She definitely thinks so. The son made the compromise?
The wife did not.
So, but she was standing there, right? Or is that when she snuck away?
This whole thing
this
been
is
going
not
on.
okay. This whole scene is not one continuous scene.
No. This is so she's watching the kids. Son stepped in and said so like there was the fight back and forth about giving them cookies, which that is if they don't want them to have cookies, then you don't. And grandma gives them cookies, and then find another babysitter.
But there's a civil conversation that happens.
So they have this conversation about a compromise. It says, my son stepped in. And this is why I said this line is very important. He made the compromise.
She had nothing to do with it.
In my opinion, the wife is super pissed because the son made the compromise. The wife didn't want that. And so after the compromise, she was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw away all the cookies.
And still was deceitful how she did it. She snuck 100%. In there when nobody was in there because she knew she was wrong.
Yeah, I don't think the son was in on the deceitfulness, but him standing. And someone was like, if he had taken his mom's side, you call him a mama's boy. And that's not true. They're in the mom's house throwing away stuff that she used her hard-earned time to make. So I don't think anyone's going to say that he's being a mama's boy by telling his wife to... Like, she crossed a line.
There is a situation.
You tell me, like, I cross a line. Yeah, keep me accountable.
But look, if the situation was what she opened with here, talking about how they had decided that they didn't want the kids getting that much sugar and had communicated that, like, adults here. And then he allowed his mom to still give them 6 cookies per visit and bucked against the wife and kept that from her, then he'd be a mama's boy, right? Like it's where you pledge your allegiance in a way that you know is bad. That is going to...
It's deceitful allegiance.
It's deceitful allegiance. Yes, perfect. There you go.
And in my opinion, he did not do that. That's not what I got from the story. But I think you don't, in any way, shape, or form, you do not walk into somebody's house and throw away shit that they made. You do not ever do that. That is just completely disrespectful and it crosses so many boundaries. And so everything that the grandma did in this opinion I would agree. Like, I would agree with how she handled the situation. And how are you not going to get pissed if somebody just walked into your kitchen and threw away shit that you had worked hard to make? Because making cookies is like, it takes time, it takes effort, it takes ingredients that aren't cheap. But
it's like creating love
on a cookie sheet. I don't know. It bothered me.
That is an important distinction. And it does make Son a little bit less of an asshole, but him still jumping in and defending her and telling his mom to calm down when his wife had clearly done something deceitful and wrong is still an asshole move for me. He doesn't change his position here. You know what sucks most about this is for grandma here. You know the amount of pain that she is accepting whenever she is risking not seeing her grandkids as often, unless they're little hellions, right? But I'm sure that she enjoys her time with that, and having to say, your kids, I'm not going to babysit anymore for you until this is fixed. Her being willing to say that and go through the pain of not having that relationship with him, I think speaks a lot about the options that she had. What way can she create pain for this bizzo? This is it. That's all she can do. It is her only play. It is the only option, except, like I had mentioned earlier, allow it to keep continuing, like still watch the kids, but not allow her over. But that doesn't create any pain for her. So there has to be some pain for the boundary encroachment here. It has to be.